High Court judgment regarding the confirmation of Ibrahim Magu as chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC) by the Senate seems to have raised more questions than answers. What now becomes of Magu? Is it against the law for him to continue in that position? How long can he continue to function in acting capacity? Joining us now to give an answer to these questions is a lawyer, Oladotun Hassan. Thank you for joining us.
So, good afternoon.
Well, the justice said the Senate is conferred with the authority to ensure only suitable and credible persons for appointment of office.
Definitely.
Now, with this judgment, what does this, where does this leave Ibrahim Magu? And this statement seems to have an underlying tone of why the Senate is not seeming to confirm Magu.
Well, in a tried democratic principles, whereby we have the legislature, the executive, and the judiciary. The legislatures are meant to act as a watch on the executive, and these are one of the key indicators of democracy, and are quite unfortunate that the executive have been high-handed in handling this issue.
When you say high-handed, how do you mean?
Yes, in terms of, you know, the Senate has rejected Magu's nomination. The Senate has the honors to screen any nominee of the Economic and Financial Crime Commission. That is the basic principle, the act establishing the EFCC Act. But at the same time, the stiff resistance in respect to, we know that there are a lot of other issues that are hanging in between the lines between the executive and the National Assembly in the recent times. There are a lot of cases that are bordering on our financial improprieties that are hanging on some.
So are you saying that this is not about the person of Magu, or it's about the rift between the executive?
Definitely, we have to read at the chemistry line of these issues itself. Rather, also looking at the fact that the judgment so delivered, yes, is on the right path. We have to commend the judiciary for stating it rightly, that the Senate has the power to screen. That is understandably, and I believe that having the Attorney General, having the Vice President, I'm so sure that the presidency ought to have been better, more informed. Magu is not the only excellent officer that we have in the EFCC. There should not be one-man institution, which we've always carved EFCC around individuals. And by the time one individual is going, another one is coming in, we hardly understood the real tenets of their duties.
But there might also be the reason why the presidency is insisting on this person, but because this is not the first time we're having a case like this.
Yes, Magu is an excellent officer. He has performed excellently well within the short time that he has been in office. He has charged a lot of cases. He has been able to even gone into the eyes of the DSS chiefs, and he has confronted government officials and at the expense of his official of his duty, and not minding whose horse is God. But at the same time, while commending his dexterity in that regard, we must also understand the law is no respecter of man. If the Senate rejects, and you must also be mindful, is non-acceptability by the Senate has also created a lot of lacunas in other nominees of federal government appointees, whereby the Magu's appointment has stored a lot of other interests of governance for more than the required time. There is always a seat of an acting capacity, not less than 6 months. But as at now, whatever Magu is doing under the law is ultra vires. Even any charges Magu is signing as EFCC chairman now can be termed as null and void. It can be a ground at the court that the person instituting an action does not have the local standing. Because these are real issues we need to understand. It's not just the implication of Magu not being there. Let the presidency seek within itself and seek the wisdom in ensuring that let there be a new leaf. Let them sort for a new good officers, not just within the police alone, there are great officers of this nation that can do similar jobs, not necessarily Magu. And if it is going to be Magu, the presidency should expect a further reprisal. And at the end of the day, it will tell a whole lot implication on our governance structure. And it will be a very huge, it will result in a lot of catastrophe. It can lead to the impeachment of Mr. President. It can be very more drastic. It can, you know, a lot of things. How so? Because the presidency insisting against the will of the National Assembly. The president cannot act in isolation. Yes, in isolation. The National Assembly has the power to summon Mr. President. The National Assembly does also have the same power to screen, and having screened Magu, and they said it's not fit, and it has also been adduced by the court. If the presidency fails to honor this, one, it will be a contempt of court for Magu to still remain in that capacity. It's a contempt of court. At the same time, on the anti-corruption war itself, it's going to create a lot of woes. It's going to really attract a lot of issues that needless not to be attended to. So the best we can do at this point in time is to ensure that there should be an harmonious relationship in settling this dispute. And with the earlier the better, let the National Assembly to tread cautiously. Let them not be too seen as trying to protect their ego, trying to see, because we had a scenario now. Immediately Magu, as was announced by the Senate as maybe not fit, the Justice Danladi Umar, who is handling the Senate President case, the same charges that have been hanging on his neck, now it's now impugned another liability clause on the EFCC. What has the EFCC been doing before now? Is it because the senators are now coming on their head because maybe Danladi Umar was able to free the Senate President of some of the charges? Now they are now coming after him as a reprisal. These are kind of issues that spells a lot of doom for democracy, because there is no sincerity or purpose. It will result to a taint on the democracy. It will result to a taint of the government itself. And for EFCC neutrality in handling cases, it will now make people see EFCC as an apron chair of the presidency, which ought not to be so.
Thank you so much, lawyer Oladotun Hassan, for your contribution on the news.
Thank you.